neighborhood confrontation in Minnesota is exposing growing anger over aggressive immigration enforcement. Residents in St. Paul surrounded ICE vehicles, shouting insults and blowing whistles as agents attempted operations. Tensions escalated after the killing of 37-year-old Renee Good, allegedly involving ICE agents. On the other hand, police leaders warn recent tactics are eroding trust, violating civil rights, and targeting people of color. Anger is boiling over on the streets of Minnesota, and the confrontation is no longer just between residents and federal agents. In St. Paul, residents surrounded ICE vehicles, shouting insults and blowing whistles as officers moved through neighborhoods. The tensions have intensified since the death of 37-year-old Renee Good, allegedly involving ICE agents, sparking repeated public confrontations. Videos recorded by bystanders show federal officers firing tear gas and chemical irritants, using battering rams to enter homes, smashing car windows, and dragging people from vehicles. U.S. Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino says more than 10,000 undocumented immigrants were arrested in Minnesota last year, including 3,000 labeled dangerous offenders during Operation Metro Surge. But the crackdown has now triggered alarm within local law enforcement itself. Police chiefs in the Twin Cities say off-duty officers have been stopped by federal agents and demanded proof of U.S. citizenship. Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley says every officer targeted in recent weeks has been a person of color. He described one off-duty officer boxed in by ICE agents, questioned aggressively, and struck when she tried recording the encounter. The agents reportedly left only after she identified herself as a police officer. Bruley says similar incidents have happened to off-duty officers across multiple departments. Local chiefs stress they support lawful immigration enforcement, but warn these tactics violate civil rights and undo years of community trust building. Hennepin County Sheriff Dewana Witt says that trust is now being damaged by questionable and unethical actions from some federal agents. City and county leaders are calling for accountability and greater oversight of the thousands of federal agents deployed across the Twin Cities. Asked about the incidents, Border Patrol leadership declined to address specifics, saying only that agents will continue their legal enforcement mission.
Our operations are lawful, they're targeted, and they're focused on individuals who pose a serious threat to this community. They are not random, and they are not political. They are about removing criminals who are actively harming Minneapolis neighborhoods. For too long, residents have been told that enforcing our nation's immigration laws undermines public safety. In reality, the opposite is true. When the law is not enforced, violent offenders remain free. Criminal networks expand, and the community pays the price. Our neighbors, our citizens, our friends pay the price. Rather than confront that reality of which I've just spoken, leaders like Tim Walz or Mayor Fry have relied on heated rhetoric and accusations that distract from the facts.
As federal operations continue, local leaders warn the fallout may extend far beyond immigration, threatening public trust and public safety itself.
So this is what the people are trying to protect, because all ICE wants to do is get them out of our country, bring them to prisons and jails and mental institutions from where they came. That's all they want to do. They're patriots, and they have to be abused by guys like Don Lemon, who's a loser, lightweight. I saw him the way he walked in that church. It was terrible. I have such respect for that pastor. And we're met with paid agitators and insurrectionists, troublemakers. They're paid. You know, when the woman was shot, and I felt terribly about that. And I understand both sides of it. But when she was shot, there was another woman that was screaming shame, 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 right? You saw it. So loud. Like a professional opera singer. She was so loud and so professional. She wasn't a woman that was hurt, like, oh, my heart's injured. She was a professional. She's shame, shame. She's screaming, shame, shame. I said, that's not a normal person that's That's a professional. These are professional agitators and professional people that want to see our country do badly. But that's not happening because we have the hottest country anywhere in the world, despite this stuff. Look at this. All top of the line criminals. They're not going to be good. They're not going to be well behaved here. I could do thousands. We had over 3,000 in the last fairly short while. Just in Minnesota. What's the number, Carol? 10,000.
10,000 criminals arrested in Minnesota alone.
10,000 criminals. And these are serious criminals. Now, how can a place with 10,000 criminals, how can you have a state? And yet they're fighting us. Yeah, I like that guy. He keeps nodding to me. You agree with me, I guess. I like him. I don't know who he is, but I like him. He keeps nodding. He says, you're right. He's obviously a little on the right side, maybe.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That is often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore. If you individually take out playwright.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.